Bible verse. It actually personally it ministered to me and formed part of the basis of what we're going to be talking about today. So with that on, I will read the Bible verse, and I'm sorry here if this is not actually stable enough, but I hope that we can still get this recording going. So the very first verse I do want to talk about, again, this is just introduction to our SOAR series. It's a Dare to SOAR series, and it's what the theme we have. That's the theme we have for the DANOPP this year, and that's what most of our books and all those things we're going to be doing this year is going to be based on. And it's a good way to actually get us all started, at least looking in the same direction on this particular platform, especially those who would like to read books with us. So when we choose books and we talk, you know exactly where we're coming from. Again, it's an introductory part. And I would like to start off this platform being a platform that's based on biblical principle, like I said earlier, with Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 31. Again, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. And this is what it says. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar. And I did underline the word soar, because it's what we're going to base the entire rest of the month on, or the year actually, but at least introduction today. We're going to do a little bit of definition as to what that means to us, or what that can actually mean to you. So it says, they will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. To that, it's a whole lot of information that is actually in this particular Bible verse, because as I was studying and looking at it, I realized there's so much we can actually take out of this, and depending on the version of the Bible verse that you're reading, if you start out, it says, but those who trust in the Lord. So there are different segments and sections to it that we need to look at very closely, and it will help us to walk through the SOAR series very easily, because we're starting up with a foundation. There's a foundational statement to it. There's a foundational a principle to soaring, and we'll actually walk through that, and God helping us, each and every one of us. I hope we'll be able to look at SOAR, which is S.O.A.R, and be able to build on it from a different perspective, or at least move on from where you are from a different perspective, so that as we go, we actually have that as back of our mind and as foundational, hopefully, foundational concept of how we actually live on this year. Especially with last year, there's always a reason for people to want to probably just stay where they are, and they're depressed, and people, tendency to say, you know what is it this year? What is it going to be? And to have that not so good expectation because of experience and what we've been through. But like I said, the theme here is actually SOAR. So that means whatever you are, maybe you're starting from the bottom or you're already on the top, there is this opportunity for us to actually take that step forward. We need to take the step forward to move forward with whatever we are. And of course, for each individual, it's different. But we'll go through that. So but Isaiah 40:31 again says, for those who trust in the Lord. So we're starting on very principled concepts. Thank you so much, Mrs. OYJ, for joining. God bless you. Yesterday, hi, cuz. Thanks for being here today. So there's a concept we're starting with today. Again, it's Isaiah 40:31. And for those who trust in the Lord, you find new strength. So we're starting with the concept of trusting in the Lord and the strength. And then with that strength, it's telling us that we will soar on eagles' wings, and wings like eagles, so wings like eagles. So eagles, of course, now is actually being used within this concept, because we all know how they soar higher than any other kind of bird that you can actually imagine. So that you and I, when we are trusted in the Lord, the eagles, the wings that we're going to be soaring on will be God's wings. So that means from any perspective, and God is the greatest. So if you are soaring on God's wings, God being the greatest, you know definitely that you're on a different level, a different platform, that things definitely are not going to be the same with people that are just struggling and relying on their own strength. So relying on God's strength, relying on God, trusting on God, and having Him as your backbone, actually, it goes a long way. as we talk about this soaring in the soaring series. So let us move forward, because that will actually help us to hopefully get to where we need to be. So let's define SOAR. Again, this is an introductory session. It's going to be very short. This is a short series so that we can go through it very briefly, and people can also go back and take a look at what we actually starting with, what we are dealing with. So it's a series just to have a platform, a foundation for this year on this platform, and hopefully for each and every one of us. So Merriam-Webster defines SOAR as ascend to a higher or more exalted level. So that's very simple, very straightforward. The second definition out of Merriam-Webster is to rise or increase dramatically. So now looking at yourself wherever you are, it doesn't say that you have to increase because you're at the low points, or you have to increase because you're at high points. This definition is just saying wherever you are at that point. Soaring means to ascend to a higher level. So you and I need to ascend to where we are, where we need to be. We need to ascend from where we are, and to rise. You need to rise up. That means when you're sitting, you need to rise. It means when you're standing, you need to move. You need to walk. It means if you're walking, you need to run. So it's a matter of actually taking action. You are to soar. Wherever you are, when you're soaring, thank you, Miss Abby. God bless you. I can see that you're there joining us. You can share with others as well. Today is an introductory session. It's not a song saying, like I said, this is a series. It's not going to be too long. So please invite others as well. So that is the definition from Merriam-Webster. We're defining SOAR if you're just joining us. So now we're moving to a dictionary definition. So the first one was Merriam-Webster definition. This is a dictionary from Cambridge. It says to increase quickly in amount. So wherever you are. So now, because we're going to combine professional and we're going to combine personal, SOAR, to actually SOAR professionally and personally. So there are various aspects to that. So this particular definition says that to increase. What is increasing? Life. You're increasing in life. You're increasing in finances. Increasing when it comes to probably your family. You're increasing your asset. Increase quickly in amount or number or value or level. So that means soaring is not limited to one aspect of your life. Literally, it actually entails every aspect. It's not just you're going to probably increase means just increase financially. It may for some people, because it's different. We are different people. For some people, it actually may be increased to actually get a new job. And for some people, increase in value. You're already at the point and you just increase in that value of who you are, value of something. Value of your business, value probably in your life, and increase in level. Some of us is promotion. So I want us to look at this soaring broadly. It's actually a broad aspect that actually applies to every aspect, your spiritual life, your physical life, your emotional life. Some of us, we actually need that to soar out of where we were, out of the fact that things happened last year and we're at the low point. We need to soar. So it's emotionally, it's physically, it's materially, it's financially. It's for some people, it's materially. For some reason, it has to do with your marriage. So where you actually soar, that's going to be determined by you. All we're doing today is just establish the fact that you need to soar from wherever you are in that aspect of your life that needs to move forward. For me, I want every aspect. Physically, I want to move physically. Spiritually, I want to move financially. I want that to happen in my marital life, in my health. In all those areas, I need to soar. So let's get this. Let's not streamline soaring to just one aspect. Oh yeah, to be rich, or to get a job, or to expand. Let's look at soaring and apply it to every area of our life. Yes, we may have to do one at a time. It might not be possible for you to actually apply the concept right away, but having that mindset in whatever you're doing, wherever you are, help you to at least move forward, okay, and tell yourself, where am I right now? Maybe at the high point, maybe I'll be lower point. I can't stay here. I need to soar. I need to move. I need to fly, because I'm trusting the Lord. I have the hope in the Lord that I can actually move forward farther than where I am or what I'm doing today. So dictionary also says it's to increase or go up quickly to a high level. Yes, it's a rapid, quick, and moving from one level to the other. I said that. It also says it increase rapidly above the usual level. So you're not just among the usual. And the Bible says we live in this world, but we're not of the world. So we ought not to behave. We ought not to sit and see ourselves as just being a normal and natural. We are supernatural beings, and that's how we ought to move in our ways, in the way people see us, in the way we step through things. It ought to be supernatural because we have a supernatural God. And I cannot but just say that because that's the only reason why we can classify ourselves as being not of this world. We are at a higher level, at a different level. And that's why we need to SOAR. Pick ourselves up where we are now. We can't stay there. We need to move forward. All right. So in other words, from the definition that we've actually heard, and that's from dictionary, that's from Merriam-Webster. I'm sure there are a whole lot of definitions out there, but I just picked those two so that we can find a way to kind of summarize what SOAR actually means. Now, from those, this is what I can gather. And there's probably more to this than what I'm actually going to tell you. Part of us here says, so you can ultimately call soaring or to soar means it's a place of a renewed strength. So it's a high level definition. It's moving rapidly to a high level, moving and increasing and expanding and all those things that we just talked about. So I can actually comfortably say it's soaring. Actually, to soar means a place of renewed strength for some people. For some people, it's a place of freedom. Some people have been in shackles and chains. Sometimes it's not physical shackles, it's not physical chains. Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's spiritual, and you don't even know it. Sometimes it's probably deep in your soul. So this is a time you have to look at it and say, you know what, I cannot stay here. It's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to soar. Sometimes soaring for some people is a place of courage. Sometimes you don't have that courage, you don't have that strength. Some of us are in some places in our life that we can't just take that step of faith to move forward. Sometimes it's a job that we're just locked out. Sometimes we're probably home, we don't have a job or something. So it's a different aspect of people's life. So we don't have the courage. So it says to soar means to take up, it's a place of courage. Now you're courageous. Soaring means you need to take that step of faith to move forward. The courage that comes with hoping, the courage that comes from what the Isaiah 30 actually says, the courage that comes with you taking, having been emboldened to actually move on, being emboldened to step forward, a place of peace. So soaring can be a place of peace for some people. Some people have been troubled. There's failure. Some have sickness in their body. Some have family members that they've lost. And there's just a place of unrest. Now soaring for some people is a place of peace, a place of rest, a place of strength. That you gather the strength, you gather the mind, you gather the courage that to move forward, to step out of that comfort zone for some people. Some people, you want to start a business, you can't do it because you're just like, how am I going to do it? So now that we have to embark on this journey of soaring in 2021 and beyond, this is where we ought to be. It's a better view from where you are. Now you're looking on God's wings because God is your foundation. God is your backbone. You are now literally fully relying on God. You now say, you know what, I want to move forward. And like I said, the definition didn't say, or that soaring on eagle's wings, when the definition of, when in Isaiah 30, what I just read, did not say that you have to be at a certain point before you can soar. It says wherever you are. That means we cannot stay stagnant. That means you cannot be contented with where you are. That means it doesn't mean if you're low, if you're sad, or probably if you lost someone, if there's a failure, if there's subsequent. It didn't define where you can be. It's just saying that now that those who trust in the Lord, now that you have taken your step of faith to trust in the Lord in this year 2021 and beyond, you've taken that step of it to trust. As long as you're trusting the Lord, now you are at a place of strength, a place of freedom, a place of courage, a place of peace, that unrest is behind you, a place of advantage. Now you have at the place of advantage. Maybe you're trying to get a better job, a better position, a promotion. You're going to get a better help. You're trying to get healthier. There's a lot of things, start a business, different aspects of your life that you need to soar from one level to the other to move higher. So you're now looking at things from God's perspective because God is your backbone. You are now on literally sitting on God's feet and saying, you know what? Your head is high up, above every principalities, above every powers, above any failures, or above any hindrances or challenges. So that's where you're soaring from. You're soaring high up there where you can actually achieve more, do more, and actually move from one level to the other. I'm going to be rounding up in a few minutes. I'm just saying this, like I said, this is the foundation of what soaring means, and so that we start looking at this a little bit more in the next couple of weeks, we know exactly what soaring means and how we need to actually tackle it or take it on. So he said, just as eagle wings' ability to soar on their wings can help them use their eyesight to receive their nourishment. I'm reading from my notes. We receive spiritual nourishment as well. And because we keep our covenants with God, we still are a lot wherever we are, because we know we need to move higher. We know we are not supposed to, we need to actually move from where we are and move to a higher place, a higher location. We separate ourselves to the world. That's the way we now see things around us. We separate ourselves from the world, separate ourselves from the side, separate ourselves from hindrances and say, you know what? I'm not doing that by myself. I'm up because I am a spiritual being. I am looking from this perspective, from the spiritual aspect, and I need to know I will get over this challenge, this problem. I'm going to get over this situation. I'm going to be better. So we are less weighed down by the burden of this earth. And that's all it is. When you're soaring, when you have the attitude of soaring, when you know that you trust in the Lord, now you're not burdened down by whatever is happening around you. All you're focusing on is the fact that you're trusting in the Lord, and you are taking those steps to rise higher, beyond anything that may have stopped you in the past, beyond sicknesses, beyond anything. All those things have not allowed you to move forward. Now you're looking high above, down below, because you're now below, you're beneath you. So that means you're flying out of the way. They can't stop you. You become unstoppable. And that is how we soar. In other words, that's what SOAR gets us to do. And for next week, I'll lay this foundation that our SOAR journey begins. We're going to begin our SOAR journey, and I'm going to start to work on that by God's grace next week. What we're going to be talking about, we're going to actually look at soaring. What does it mean to individuals? What does it mean in our professional life? What does it mean in our personal life? And that's how we're going to go through the acronym SOAR. And the SOAR for different people at different parts of their life may actually mean different things. Soaring to you, S to you, and for example, that's what we're going to start from next week. How soaring journey actually differs. I'm going to actually differentiate between the soaring journey that each and every one of us may encounter. Like I said, for some people, you probably want to soar in your marriage. For some people, you want to soar in your career. For some people, you want to soar in your business. For some people, you want to soar in your health. So for some people, it's for spiritual life. So the SOAR it's an acronym that we're going to be dealing with next week. For some people, the S stands for strength. For some people, it's like you need to say thank you so much, Mr. Ademola, Mr. Ibironke. Thank you so much. Also, the pastor here, Pastor Nick here, thank you for joining. And Mr. Lawrence Ajemi, thank you. God bless you. But as I round up today, soaring for everyone, like I said, actually means something different in the stage of life that you are in right now, and what you're doing, what you're actually about to embark on. So SOAR, I started by saying S can be you have to strengthen a couple of things in your life, maybe relationship for some people, strength for some people. You need to go back and see exactly what you need to do to be a better person in terms of you being probably in your friendship, in your relationship, in your marriage. Some of us need to look deeper than where we are right now. Some of us we need to secure relationship. Some of us it's probably just looking inward and say, you know what, God, I'm here and I'm ready to actually move forward. So for different people, professionally, personally, there's so many aspects of these SOAR that you probably can take action with. Personally, for me, I know I want to strengthen. It's about strengthening opportunities and activating the resources that I already have. So that's for me. Now, the SOAR, you need to form the acronym. As we define each SOAR for you, you're going to actually get the acronym for yourself and see exactly, because it depends on what you're trying to soar in. If you're trying to soar in your personal life, for example, your career, it might actually be you need to look for the strength in you and build those strengths. It may need to opportunities around you, and that's your O. Your A might be, you know what, you need to see these opportunities, you've been sitting on it, you need to activate it. That's your A. And the R may be, you know what, I need to get results from what I've actually activated. So your SOAR may be strength, maybe for you, S may be to strength, O may be opportunities. A may be to actually activate those opportunities. The R may be to, you know what, I need to make sure I see results. For me, my own SOAR is strengthening my opportunities and activating my resources. That's SOAR. So those are the acronyms. We're going to deal with this next week, and I don't want to rush it because this is supposed to be a short series. And thank you so much for actually staying with us today, and thank you for joining. If you joined late, I'm still going to post this, and it's actually there. You can actually take a look at it, and I'm trying to make it very short because I don't want it to be long at all. It's going to be a 4-part series, and we're starting off today just defining SOAR, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much again. This is Dr. Tina Ibironke, and this platform is DANOPP. We are here to strengthen each other, to sharpen each other. And by the grace of God, soaring is actually a foundational concept this year, and that's how we're going to move forward. Thank you so much. God bless you, Pastor Nikki, for actually chiming in there. Strength opportunities, yes, for every one of us. Activate. Thank you. God bless you. And the last one for that one is actually for you to see results. So yes, SOAR for each and every one of us, it's definitely different. God bless you. Thank you, Pastor Nikki, for actually putting that there. Hope to see you all next week. Like I said, it's a short session. I'm not going to take any more time because we have a whole lot more to deal with for the rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining again. I wish you a lovely week outside as we start a new week tomorrow. God bless you, and enjoy your week and go out and soar. Thank you.